Hello everybody and welcome back to the new year. This is One Hub Racing, season number 12, the Pinnacle tier, round number 10, which takes us to the British Grand Prix. My name is Kieran McGinley and joining me in the commentary booth, as always, is two-time champ John Worth. Jono, how are you tonight?
I'm very good, thanks Kieran. So yeah, good evening everybody. We're back for starting off a new year and round 10 of the season. And what a track to come back to as well. We're here at Silverstone, absolutely fantastic F1 circuit.
Absolutely, one of the legendary tracks where it all started back in 1950. Donkel leads out for the first driver out there. Obviously, he's on the soft tyres. And we do have those blue hardwall tyres, I do believe. So they make their first appearance of the season. How many drivers do you reckon will actually go onto those blue hardwall tyres?
We'll wait and see, but I certainly know they're not particularly nice to drive on. As you say, going to those from the other compounds we've been running so far, you certainly feel the lack of grip on those. So go a long way on them, but certainly not the best tyre for outright lap time.
Absolutely. Let's have a look then. Let's see who else. I've seen Samster still in the pit lane, but he is just leaving just now. He is the championship leader. You were telling me beforehand, Jono, that there's none of our one of the championship rivals not here tonight.
Yeah, Reflow not here by the look of it. So obviously, you know, that's going to be perhaps pretty detrimental to his championship hopes. Already 31 points behind Sam at the moment. And Sam will look at this as a good opportunity to extend that even further if he can.
Now, if on the stream it's not coming through at all, well, oh no, it's just flicked over. It was red saying bad for the stream status. It's just flicked over to good. So let's hope it stays like that for the rest of the stream as Pepsi Gamer here out on the soft tyres makes his way down the hangar straight towards the last couple of corners. Such a legendary track, Jono. Any memories for you around here?
I love driving at this track. It's just a proper F1 circuit. It perhaps doesn't feel so good in sort of lower formulas, slower cars, but when you've got the downforce of an F1 car, the high-speed corners feel awesome. Maggotts and Beckett's, I don't think there's any better set of corners perhaps in the whole F1 calendar to really get a feel for what an F1 car can do. So I'm sure all the drivers will be relishing getting out there, as I always was, and setting laps and qualifying when the car is at its absolute quickest.
Well, one of the drivers to watch is Pepsi Gamer, and Odems has written up that he's adamant that his 103.7 in Austria last time out was legitimate on those super softs. Well, he went from first to fifth, having set a slower lap time, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. Also to watch is Sam, shaking that demon off that he had at the French Grand Prix. Actually won last time out in Austria. With Samster, 30 odd points ahead of any other rival. It's surely he's got to be thinking this is his year.
Yeah, you do start to think that. I'm sure he won't admit to thinking that, but we're just about on the halfway point of the season, and 31 points is it's a reasonable buffer. Obviously, in this modern era of F1, with pretty big points, 25 points for the win. Obviously, it's all still to play for, plenty of points still available. But yeah, it's looking good for him so far, and he does look pretty much Mr. Consistent. Went a little bit wrong for him at France, but still managed to pick up a few points, I think. And yeah, I think he'll be feeling more and more confident as the rounds tick by from here on in.
So we've got some of the press conference, if I could actually speak, today was with White Fountain. So he's currently out there on a set of medium tyres. Odems asked him, it was looking good for you early in the season after the win. Close to the top, you were close to the top two. When talks of a championship challenge emerged, you deny it. Is there a lack of belief to blame for the form? And he said, I never thought of the championship. I was really happy with the first few races and I felt really comfortable in the Sauber, but the last few races something has gone wrong. Don't know what's happening. Seems like I've lost all pace, and Silverstone, I need a miracle. It seems like I'm driving a Dacia against real F1 cars.
Yeah, slightly damning of his own performance there, but you have to treat the break. It can sometimes give you a bit of a reset. It's a bit of a fresh start after a week or two away. And so, you know, you've got to go into this track, I think, with the mindset that things can turn around.
Right, here comes White Fountain then towards the line, and it is a 1:29.001 on a set of medium tyres. Donkel on provisional pole position then. Matt in second, 1:26.6 with Samster third. Chopper in fourth place there, 1:27 dead on. Hepsgamer fifth, 1:27.060. TK in sixth, 1:27.3. Lawrence in 7th, 1:27.6. Main Showman the first on a different set of tyres, 1:28.0 on those medium tyres. And there is Farth there, the Mercedes driver in 9th place on a set of those blue wall hard tyres.
Yeah, you have to say it's one of the first times this season that Farth has set a lap time without it being in the last minute or two of the session as well. So he's gone out on those hard tyres and he's actually got a lap time on the board early on. So maybe that will bode him well for later in the session when he, presumably will bolt on a set of the softer compound tyres.
On the pre-race interviews, Scorpion was asked a couple of questions, obviously, in those interviews. May have noticed a bit of a redesign, including a name change. How do you think this new layout compares to the old one? He says, I like the new design. It was a bit weird for a few days. We've still got to get used to the new name, but he thinks it's great. I think we're all in the same position, Jono, getting used to that new name.
Yeah, absolutely. It's starting to bed in, but yeah, a bit of a transition for all of us. And slips of the tongue are likely to happen going forward, I think. But yeah, we're settling in, and personally, I think the website now it's all up and running looks pretty good. So we'll all settle in now, second half of the season with the new name. Obviously, One Hub Racing.
Now, Jono, you must have experienced a sort of break in racing when it comes towards a Christmas break or summer break or whatever. When you come back, is it easy to get back into the flow of things?
Yeah, I always find it pretty easy, actually. I think, it's not a massively long break, and I think most of the drivers will put in quite a few hours every week on the whole, perhaps not the last week, but I think as soon as they get in on the game, 10 minutes in, they'll soon settle back into the rhythm. And I think often the break gives you a bit of a fresh start as well, as I mentioned before, so often I think I bounce back feeling a little bit more sort of invigorated and actually did perhaps better than I was doing before the break.
Here comes Lukey towards the line. It's a 1:28.5 and it puts him into P11. So the only driver yet to set a lap time in this session is Jaw. He's out there on a set of soft tyres as he heads towards the Wellington Straight into that first DRS zone. Of course, 2 DRS zones here at British Grand Prix. The Wellington Straight, which we're on right now, and the Hangar Straight towards the end of the lap.
Yeah, we will mention as well, Cloudy Balloons obviously retired from the session at the beginning. That's because he is serving a qualifying ban that's carried over from Austria, so that's why we're not seeing Cloudy out in this session.
So Donkel's still topping the tables with 10 minutes to go on those soft tyres, the softest possible compound we can use here today. It's a little odd with these drivers setting lap times on the softest possible tyre very early on, Jono.
Yeah, it's completely the opposite of what we've seen for most of the races, particularly the last few rounds where we've seen most people on the harder compounds or the middle compounded tyre until the end of the session pretty much. But yeah, we're seeing a bit of a change here, but no change in that Donkel has gone out there and put it on provisional pole, at least at the moment. He's getting a bit of a reputation of being a bit of a qualifying master in this tier so far. So those Ferrari boys will be looking to close those couple of tenths down that they need in the last 9 minutes of the session.
Jaw then sets a 1:26.622, puts himself into second place. 9 minutes of the session left to go. Jono, who are you picking out very early pole position?
I think it's difficult. We obviously know those, the two Ferraris and Donkel, they will be the favourites going in. They've been the pace setters for a fair chunk of the season so far. But I think we'll see lots of improvements. I think we're far from seeing the settled grid and the lap times will tumble a fair bit from here. But it's a good lap from Jaw at the moment to put it into provisional, onto the provisional front row. But yeah, I think there'll be many position changes yet in the second part of the qualifying session.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking, Lukey was talking in the pre-race chat. Are you feeling rejuvenated after the break? Looking forward to racing again. I've missed it, and I feel like I need to get back into the rhythm. And, well, that could be another thing, that maybe with the break you lose that rhythm, Jono, as you were saying.
Yeah, I think it's different for each driver, yeah, maybe some are worried about it. But it is a bit strange. Obviously, it's lots of races in a row. 9 races in a row we did before the break, so it's a bit strange having the time off, and although it's only one Friday missed, it sort of feels like a long time. between races for the drivers. But I'm sure they'll all go out there today, even that bit more hungry than normal to get a good result. And I've certainly missed. I did sit there last Friday thinking, oh, it's missing some on-track action. So really pleased to be back here tonight.
Yeah, you're always been missing a bit of on-track action, aren't you, Jono?
Definitely.
White Fountain then on a set of soft tyres as he heads down the Wellington Straight, now coming in to turn number 7, out of Luffield and towards Woodcote and towards the old turn 1. So if I have to ask you, Jono, which do you prefer, the new layout of Silverstone or the classic one?
Oh, I think you always look back thinking that things are perhaps better than they are. I did like the old layout, but it also feels like a fair, long time ago now. There's so many laps now on this new layout that it just feels like Silverstone. So I do still enjoy this layout. It's still a great circuit, but I think the old one will always hold a place in people's hearts as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know in the chat, classic or modern. Well, when you say classic Silverstone, there's probably about 8 corners, but obviously I mean the one before the new redesign that took it to this circuit then. White Fountain coming towards the final couple of corners. A little bit of a lock up there as he makes his way around. So I wonder if this is abandoned his lap then, because he's still in the hot lap mode. Here he comes towards the line. It's a 1:28.5, 4 tenths quicker, but only 1 position moved up as Matt FNG tops the tables now, a 1:26.3. with Samsa then picking up P3, 1:26.4.
Yeah, I think the Ferraris will be pretty happy if they can be on the front couple of rows as well. We know they work well as a team, so I think they'll be set to control the race pretty well if they can start somewhere near there at the moment. Obviously separated by Don Call at the moment in P2.
Well, coming back to White Fountain, as he was also in the pre-race interviews, Odem's asked him, Britain shares a very similar lap time to Bahrain. Do you think the tracks are similar to each other? And White Fountain said, I don't think they're similar. Silverstone has more corners, but most of them are high speed, which can be tricky, especially if you're not confident going through them. And that could be the decider for it, because there's a lot of high speed corners, Jono, but a lot of straights where you need that as little error as possible.
Yeah, definitely. The setup's always tricky here. I was never quite happy that I had the right setup. This one where you just keep tweaking. You need to be absolutely confident in the rear of the car through the high-speed turning. So you want to run the ballast as much to the rear as you can to get the turning, but not so much that you're worried it's going to spin out on you. But full commitment is required. And then when you go to the race, of course, you've got to take into account those high-speed corners, the lack of downforce that you can get when you're following closely behind another car as well. And the race fuel can make a huge difference to the way the car feels. So, don't be surprised if on the first few laps of the race you see drivers running wide perhaps when they suddenly switch from low fuel in quali to race fuel.
We're riding aboard with the Mage Showman then as he makes his way around the final couple of corners, but actually decides to turn himself around. Now, he's got to be careful doing that, because otherwise he might find himself disqualified from the session, and he actually finds himself pretty closed in. This sort of reminds me of Raikkonen when he drove for the Lotus back in Brazil there. So he's a little lost, I think, Maged. He's just trying to find his way back to the pit lane. Well, there you go, and that's the reason why you shouldn't do that, because Mage Showman has been disqualified from qualifying for going the wrong way. No real surprise about that one, Jono.
We just talked about the brake. Well, that's what it can do for you. Mage Showman now thinks that F1 involves rallying, and it hasn't worked out well for him at all, and he's disqualified from the session.
Well, Farth then, on the medium tyres, puts himself up into the top 10, 10th place to be exact, 1:27.8. You and I, Jono, have been constantly saying Farth may be underperforming this season, and 10th place on those medium tyres is it's still a respectable lap time, but he's got to go for a soft tyre run, surely.
Yeah, you would think so. He seems to like to do something a little bit different as well, I think, from others around him. I think we've seen him on the harder compounded tyre before. But that's usually starting from the back of the grid, I guess. So it'd be interesting to see what he decides to do. He's cruising back pretty slowly, though, so he's obviously trying to protect those tyres.
I think he's out of fuel.
Back to the pits. Oh, he is. He's out of fuel, yeah, he is. So he'll be desperately hoping he can get back to the pits if he does want to go out again on the softs.
3 drivers out on track, one of them is Farth, another one is Scorpion, who's just dived into the pits, and Jor is on an outlap right about now as he makes his way towards the old turn 1 and shut the car in. Let's ride on board with Jor then, using that curve on the left hand side, shut the car in and hope it sticks That is always going to be a fantastic corner as we head now through the classic Maggots and Beckett section. 3 minutes of qualifying to go. Matt FNG is on provisional pole position with Donkle in second, Samster third, TK fourth, Jaw in fifth, Chopper sixth, Pepsi Gamer seventh, Lawrence in eighth, Scorpion ninth, Farth in 10th, Matt Your Daddy 11th, Lukey 12th, and White Fountain is 13th place.
Yeah, and the Renaults will definitely be looking to move forward. They've had pretty good pace the last few rounds, so they won't be happy with 11th and 12th at the moment, but pretty close throughout the times. If you can just find a few tenths, there's a few positions to be gained quite comfortably, I think.
Absolutely. Here comes Jaw then. We're going to ride on board with the Haas then as we make our way towards turn one then. Chuck the car in. And again, watch that curve on the inside there. Can easily unsettle the car as we fly through turn two. And now towards the arena section, in towards turn three. Watch those sausage curves as now as you head towards turn four. Very easy to catch those and very easy to unsettle the car. Use the curve on the outside there. Don't be afraid of it as we head through turn five into the first Aero zone, down the Wellington Straight. And you're now putting full speed through there. Go over to the right hand side as much as possible. Use that curb, it's there for a reason. Head through turn 6 and then if you want to get turn 7 of Luffield, absolutely right. You can take a middle line to try and cut back in and optimise the exit. Really good in qualifying. We call that the Sebastian Vettel line. And here we go through turn 8 then as we head towards turn 9, the old turn 1. As we saw a lap ago, chuck the car in and hope it sticks. And George didn't go full throttle through there, so interesting to see there. As we head now towards the legendary Maggots and Beckett section, turn 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. They come at you at a rate of knots here as we now head towards turn 14. Watch that grass there, very easy to get the curb too early and get onto the grass. We now head down the hanger straight towards turn 15. Again, using as much of that left-hand side of the track as possible as Joel then 6th gear through turn 15, heading down the hill now towards the club section, through Vale and then the club section. Again, watch those sausage curves. The car almost comes to a stop at the slowest part of the track. Through turn 18 and across the line Joel will go. And it is P4. A tenth of a second is the difference. And it puts him onto the second row of the grid.
Yeah, and I think he lost that tenth or two through Maggots and Beckett. He missed the first turn in, missed the apex to the corner, and he was struggling through that section then. I think he dropped a few tenths easily through there. So there was more to come from Joel.
Well, interesting to see Ferrari using the same tactics they would do in real life. Matt FNG has gone first, and you can see Sam's there is just in the distance as they're both on their flying lap, and Matt has actually run wide. I think he's invalidated his lap time, has he? He's still attacking though. Still the battery's gone into mode 4, so he's still attacking as he makes his way now down the Wellington Straight. Let's have a look at Donkle, just see where he is. He's coming towards turn 6, so he'll be one of the last to actually set a lap time here. 10 seconds to go. Here comes Matt then, chucking the car in towards turn 15. Making sure you get the exit absolutely right. You don't want to run too wide, otherwise you invalidate the lap time. Here we go then, towards 16 and 17. Coming towards the final corner now. You see that sausage curve on the left hand side as Matt then improves 126.2, almost 200ths of a second. Here comes Sam then. Can he improve? He can't, but he has got one more lap, has he? No, he hasn't. No, he's taking the checkered flag. So that's it. Samster will be at least P3. So Matt is on provisional pole position. Jaw will stay in P4. He's on an in lap. Can anybody else challenge him? Chopper's out there on a lap, as is Pepsi Gamer. He's coming towards the end of his lap. We'll have a look at Donkle, his teammate then, as he makes his way around the final few corners through 17 and now coming towards 18. Can Donkle grab provisional pole position? No, he can't. Half a tenth he improved, but it's not enough to catch Matt. So Matt holding on to provisional pole position. There's Chopper, has lost the back end. Oh, where is that? I'm trying to see where that is. I think that's turn 12. A bit too much ballast on the rear, and the car's gone straight around. Lawrence has retired. Scorpion, meanwhile, is on a set of soft tyres, looking to try and improve on his lap time. He's currently P10. We've also got Farth out there. He crosses the line. He's in P8. We've got White Fountain and Chopper all coming across the line. White Fountain doesn't improve, and Scorpion just gets into the top 10. What about Chopper then? He's now heading down the hanger straight in the last lap of qualifying, and he's lost it. He's lost it completely. Can he keep it out of the wall? Yes, he can, just about. But I believe that'll do it for qualifying. So Matt FNG is going to take pole position for the British Grand Prix.
Yeah, and a pretty exciting session there. Surprised, well, Donkle got there 10th in the end, and Sam, I don't think he'll be too disappointed with 3rd. And Bath, he's done better than usual there. He did switch to those soft tyres and brought him in P8, but I think Scorpion will be slightly disappointed with P10 there. He's showed good speed last couple of rounds, but he will, he'll bring up the top 10 there.
Absolutely, and well, it should be a pretty interesting qualifying, that's for sure. It was a pretty interesting qualifying, I should say. Should be an interesting race, as Lawrence, White Fountain, Lukey, Cloudy Balloons and Maid Showman starting outside of the top 10. They will get a free choice of tyre, but that's really the only saving grace. So all of the top 10 qualified on the soft tyres though, so everybody looking for that potential one stop. How difficult will it be to make those medium tyres last, Jono?
Yeah, tyre management will be important. Tyre temperatures, as we've seen all season long, will be crucial, and it can make all the difference. Certainly, just having outright won that pace is not the be-all and end-all at all, especially at a circuit like this with these long radius corners, where it puts lots of strain on the tyres. Very reminiscent to that season in F1 where everyone had the punctures a couple of seasons back. So it could well make a difference in this race. So expect to see those who look after the tyres come forward towards the end of the stints.
Well, let's have a rundown of qualifying. Just waiting for that leaderboard to come to us, and there it is. Matt on pole position by 0.06 of a second from Donkel. Samster in third, Jaw in fourth, TK fifth, Pepsi Gamer in sixth, Matt Your Daddy seventh, Farth in eighth, Chopper ninth, Scorpion in 10th, Lawrence in 11th, White Fountain 12th, Lukey 13th. Cloudy Balloons had a qualifying ban, and Maid Showman was disqualified for going the wrong way around the circuit. Matt Your Daddy at one point was in P12, managed to claw his way back up to P7, so a good qualifying result from him in the end. And the top 10, Jono, separated by under a second.
Yeah, nothing in it at all, is there? And I'm sure all the drivers will be thinking, wow, I could have improved by at least a few tenths there. There's always a bit more time in it, and it could have made a big difference. But that bodes very, very well for the race, indeed, that we've got drivers so closely matched on pace there in quali.
Absolutely. Well, the British Grand Prix, blue skies. Absolutely blue skies. No threat of rain, at least we hope not, Jono, although you did say to me a bit of rain would spice things up, and I replied to you, well, it's Britain, it's going to rain. But no sign of it so far.
Yeah, I think as soon as you mentioned that it will rain, it wasn't going to rain, was it? That was that jinx. So, yeah, it certainly looks blue skies at the moment, barely a cloud in the sky. So the drivers will be pleased. It just means you can exploit all that performance in the race and exploit all that downforce, those high-speed corners.
If you're new to One Hub Racing, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell as well, so you're notified every time we go live. Obviously, the 3 tiers running at 8 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. GMT. So don't miss any of those races with the bell. You'll never miss out. Matt then will, well, I said he was going to lead the way, but that's actually going to be Donkel who leads the way as they leave the grid for their formation lap. Obviously, as we said before, the top 10 all on the tyres they qualified on. Lawrence, meanwhile, I'll tell you what, Jono, he's starting on some blue wall hard tyres. That is a brave decision there. White Fountain on a set of mediums in 12th place, Lukey in 13th on softs, Cloudy Balloons in 14th on the medium tyres, and Maid Showman starting on a set of soft tyres. And Lawrence there, how brave is he, Jono?
I think he might be in for a difficult opening few laps of the race. If he can survive and go long on that stint, perhaps the strategy will work out for him at the end, but I think he will likely see, by instance, those guys ahead of him in the top 10 pull away. There's just so much more grip on those soft tyres to the hards. That'd be a big, big difference. So
Matt is on pole position, and well, it's not going to be easy for him. He's got Donkel and Samster right behind him, and I don't know if they've spoken to you, Jono, but at some point this season team orders might play out.
Yeah, I think they may well come into play. At the moment, it's looking obviously pretty good for Sam. Perhaps team orders won't even be needed, but I think they will utilise them if it's necessary. But Donkel can certainly make a nuisance of himself, I think, starting in between those two Ferraris. We know how quick he can be, but he is one of the drivers who has struggled, or it looks like he's struggled with tyre wear in the rounds he's been in this championship so far. So will he be able to get that under control to be able to carry the fight to the Ferraris as the race goes on?
Make sure you leave your predictions in the chat. Who is going to get the win today Will it be Matt? Will it be Donkel? Will it be Samster? Or will it be someone completely different? Let us know in the chat as we head around the final few corners for the formation lap. The AI takes control, and we await now all 15 drivers to make their way back to the grid. So, One Hub Racing then, round number 10 for the British Grand Prix. We're glad you could join us for the Pinnacle tier of One Hub Racing. Round number 10 is about to get underway very, very shortly. We await those 5 red lights any moment now. The tension is rising. Let's see, is everybody on the grid? I believe they are. Yep, Cloudy Balloons is just lining up. So here we go then. The British Grand Prix is moments away. We're waiting for those lights then. Here they come for the 5 red lights here at the British Grand Prix. Round 10 is underway, and what are the starts like? Looks like Donkel's got a terrible start off the grid there. Matt's able to get into turn 1 straight away. He runs a little bit wide though. Maybe is he onto the grass? No, he's just about held it, but Donkel under pressure and Stamster, and they collide. Oh, it's a pile up. Farth is out of the race. The tyres come off of him. Donkel and Samster collided there, and that looks like a Renault without a front wing. That looks like Matt, your daddy there. He's lost the front wing completely. And, well, we've lost Farth very early on. No constructors' points for Mercedes at all. That's going to completely hurt them. TK's got himself a 5-second stop go for ignoring yellow flags. Here we go then towards turn 6 as we head towards turn 7. You can see there the McLarens here are battling away. Donkel, has he got damage to that car? I wonder. He's battling away with his teammate Pepsi Gamer. I think he's going to let him go as Pepsi Gamer runs a little bit wide there. A little bit safety car deployed then at the British Grand Prix. Well, we can hold our breaths now, Jono, as the safety car is deployed.
Wow, yeah, we can. Safety car, what will these guys do? Obviously, early in the race for any sort of tyre changes or anything, but anyone with wing damage will perhaps take the chance to come in. Donkel can't see any damage on that front wing, and I can't on Sam's either. The contact looked pretty big, and Donkel sent sideways. But both drivers have continued. So look for Donkel to move back through the field as the race progresses. But he's the big loser really at the beginning, along with Farth obviously as well. And White Fountain and Scorpion, they got through that unscathed, and they moved up 5 and 6 positions.
Oh, sorry to completely cut you off there, Jono. I thought Matt was coming in, but I tell you what, TK's come in, Donkel as well. I wonder if Donkel maybe has very, very minor front wing damage. If so, he's going to have to change the tyres here. And what will he go for? Mediums or hards? Surely he won't go for the hard tyres. There's too much difference between the deltas.
Yeah, we'll have a look and see what he chooses. Perhaps I think he might well go for the mediums, but we'll see what he chooses to do. Looks like it may well be the mediums. And no front wing change though, so it was purely a strategy call by the look of it. So he's going to move on to mediums, get off those softs that he's already done qualifying on, and hope that will bring him back into contention later on.
That is not what he needed though, Donkel. He's going to have to stop again at some point. He won't be able to make those tyres last. We've got TK also into the pits with Chopper and Matt Your Daddy and Lawrence. So they all had damage. Chopper has rejoined on a set of hard tyres. He wants to go to the end. Jono, how possible is that?
It's a long, long way to go, and the tyres just aren't that quick either. We'll see what he decides to do. I guess he'll bolt those on now and just go as far as he can go. But yeah, it's not a fun tyre to be on for that many laps. It's what he's chosen, but a fair few guys then in the pits during those incidents. But the safety car is a bit of a saving grace for them. They will hopefully be able to catch up to the field. And so they won't have lost too much really, maybe a few positions, but they'll still be with the pack.
I think Lawrence there, who did start on the hard tyres, maybe it's made him reconsider. He's now back onto a set of mediums, so he's onto the set of those white wall mediums, so he'll be onto a regular different strategy rather than the hard tyres. But it is a Ferrari 1-2 at the moment, with Jaw in 3rd, Scorpion up to 4th, with White Fountain in 5th, Pepsi Gamer 6th, Cloudy Balloons in 7th place, Lucky in 8th, Made Showman 9th, with Donkel in 10th as they look to catch up to the back of the safety car queue. TK in 11th, Chopper 12th, Matt Your Daddy 13th, and Lawrence in 14th. We lost Farth very, very early on, and what could that mean for Mercedes Constructors' hunt?
Yeah, that is a real knock, isn't it? Especially with the Ferraris P1 and P2. Obviously, that could be a massive loss in the constructors. So not good at all. But I think Sam there in P2 will be absolutely breathing a sigh of relief that he got away with that unscathed and he's still towards the front of the field. Did he manage to catch what happened in that incident with Donkel? I only caught the sort of end of it. from my view, so I couldn't really see what was going on.
Well, it just looked like Samstar went around. I don't know whether there was a little bit of contact, but Farth came out of nowhere. I think it all just Constantined up, and Farth had nowhere to go, and went into the back of someone, lost that tyre that makes it a three-wheeler, and makes him out of the race. So, again, that is a huge, huge championship blow for Mercedes. Ferrari need to capitalise here, and I wonder if there's going to be team orders.
Yeah, I think they'll work together. They've got Jaw behind them at the moment in the half, so they'll look to work together and break away, I think, on the restart. And perhaps Matt won't feel under too much pressure at the restart either. I imagine Sam won't make things too hard for him at the beginning. They want to get round cleanly. But you often see incidents at the start of the race in that open section of the track here. Turns 1, 2, 3. They're high speed, and this state bar, was caught high by the look of it. You've got to take them at high speed, and if anything happens ahead, you've got very, very little chance of taking any sort of avoiding action.
Well, Ferrari could extend their gap to Mercedes to 105 points at the end of this race. McLaren, meanwhile, could take full advantage. They only need to score 2 points to take over second place in the Constructors' table, and they'll be looking on to that to try and take advantage of it. Safety car is in this lap, so Matt will become basically the safety car. He will decide when the field goes. The safety car line is just before the last 3 corners. You'll be able to see it as it comes up. Very long pit lane, which actually might have benefited some of the drivers here, but Matt is coming around the final couple of corners now. You can see the safety car is in. There's that white line, and away we go. He's gone for it, Matt, as Cloudy Balloons has had a severe collision with Pepsi Gamer in the background there. He's got himself a 5-second stop go, as Matt then yellow flags in sector 3. And what's gone on there? Pepsi Gamer's off the track. As look at this now, the whole Constantina of cars. One of them's gone so far off the track. That's Pepsi Gamer. We now head towards turn 1. Here's Made Showman, and can they keep it clean through the first couple of corners? I think they just about have now. A little bit of a crazy start there involving Pepsi Gamer, but Made Showman up to 6th place. You can see the Force India of Lawrence there trying to take advantage of Pepsi Gamer there, and Cloudy Balloons has retired from the session. And I don't know whether he crashed out or retired from the menu. We'll have to wait and see. But we've got Donkall here trying to chase down Made Showman. Here he comes then. But no, he decides to tuck back in. And meanwhile, the battle for the lead of the race there, you can see Samster is trying to have a look up the inside, but has to back out of it. Jaw is not far away. Scorpion also following them. And then you've got a 3-second gap back to White Fountain. So these 4 here have managed to gallop away from the field as they head through the old turn 1 of Cops. And Jaw running a little bit wide there. He can't afford to do that too much, especially with these strict corner cutting rules. That will provide a penalty later on. Samster right on the tail of Matt, but as the dirty air takes hold, it is much more difficult for the following car to follow you through Maggots and Beckett's.
Yeah, and it's mentioned a huge gap, isn't there? White Fountain's fallen off. And then we've got a big train there. Donkall and Made Showman lining up, and White Fountain goes defensive. I think Made Showman is going to have a go around the outside. And he's still trying to hold around the outside. Made Showman barely given an inch, but he'd have the inside now for the final 2 corners. And I think he's got the position done. So he has. Oh, a bit of contact. Still going side by side, actually. White Fountain did not want to give that up at all, but that's now made him very vulnerable indeed to Donkall. And a bit of wheel bashing between those 2 as well. Donkall needs to be careful. He's got to keep that front wing intact if he wants to have any chance of fighting later on. And he now does make the move stick. So Donkall up into P6 then.
Absolutely. He did run a little bit deep though going into turn 4, which made him vulnerable as we head through turn 5 through the DRS zone. As you can see, White Fountain off the track again. Wow. And these 2 have got to rein it in a little bit. White Fountain does have that front wing damage. I think that's why he was dropping off so much after the restart. He might have picked that up under the safety car, but Lawrence has managed to find his way around Luffield here. Get the Luffield exit absolutely spot on. You can see though TK now having a go at White Fountain, and he's passed him. So White Fountain is dropping down the field with great pace now as Lukey goes up the inside and takes that position away from White Fountain. Matt Your Daddy goes through as well, and in the space of literally a couple of corners, White Fountain finds him down outside of the points.
Yeah, it's just one of the worst tracks of the season, perhaps the worst for having front wing damage. You absolutely need that downforce. If you don't have it, you just can't take any corner speed. It's just falling through the field. So expecting to enter the pits then if the wing damage, and Chopper cruising by as well. So all gone wrong for White Fountain. So shame for him. Nate Showman battling really hard as well. We saw just earlier on in the lap, but he's up into P5 at the moment, so he's up 10 positions from his starting place.
DRS has been enabled for the first time this race, of course, as we see Nate Showman flying through turns 1 and 2. As we look now towards the lead, Matt FNG still leads the way from Samster. It is still a Ferrari 1-2. We've got Jor in 3rd, Scorpion 4th, Maid Showman 5th, Donkel 6th, Lawrence in 7th, TK 8th, with Lukey 9th, Matty Daddy 10th, Chopper 11th, White Fountain 12th in the pit lane, and Pepsi Gamer last of the runners in P13.
Yeah, 13 runners, so once again, points are perhaps possible for everyone in this race, as we're still only on lap 6 from 13 runners. Pepsi Gamer went wrong for him, didn't it? And he finds himself now way off the back of the field. And White Fountain has predictably as well. He's gone into the pits and he's rejoining on a set of the hard tyres, so he'll hope that it's his last time through the pits today.
Do you remember that time I said, oh, it's going to be really rare to see anybody on the hard tyres, and now 3 of them are running on it. Got a bit of a scrap here between Pepsi Gamer and White Fountain. White Fountain rejoins just behind Pepsi Gamer as we head around turn 5 there into the DRS zone down the Wellington Straight. And can White Fountain take advantage? Seems to have dropped back a little bit. We're going to jump on board as Samster goes wildly off the track then, and that might be the dirty air that he's just struggling for grip out there. We've also got Lukey, who has made a pass around the outside in turn 15. Can he make that move stick? Yes, he can. Will TK have a go at him going into turn 16, but he won't. Lukey gets that position. Fantastic move around the outside there of turn 15. Meanwhile, the 2 Ferraris here are battling away and keeping it single file for now. But I don't think it'll be too long before Samster makes a move. We've got Lukey and TK battling away for P8 here, but you can see TK has got past Matt Your Daddy now in their battling, Lukey and TK. Matt Your Daddy has managed to find his way through, and I wonder if Lukey just helped out his teammate there.
Yeah, maybe so. It's amazing as well how often we see the 2 Renaults and the 2 Ferraris battling left and left on track. They're so equally matched on pace, so obviously good teammates in both those teams. So yeah, the Renaults now can hopefully look to break away from TK from their point of view and chase down Lawrence, who despite having to pit on lap 1 finds himself up to 7th position.
Yeah, absolutely, as Matt lost it. Matt lost it completely there on the second half of turn 12, and that has allowed Samster to go straight through to take the lead of the race. Disaster for Matt, because now he hasn't got any DRS. He could find himself very vulnerable to the Haas and the Toro Rosso behind him as we head through turn 15. So Matt drops to second, then runs a little bit wide. I wonder if Matt's tyres are starting to go here. Has he kept them in good nick? You can take them for a little bit longer. Obviously, with that safety car, you can do that. But, well, Matt has lost out big time there as we see a big battle behind there. That's TK, Lukey and Chopper. Chopper, is he going to have a go down the inside of turn 15 here? Or 16, I should say. No, he doesn't, but he is on those hard tyres. And maybe they're up to temperature right about now. Yeah, they're up to temperature, and Lukey's on 7 lap of softs ahead. So Chopper, using Slipstream as well, he should be able to mount a challenge to these cars ahead, and he's placed pretty well, you'd have to say. Although he's down 11th, he is on that hard tyre. He knows he can go a long, long way from here on in. Absolutely. Jaw is putting some pressure on Matt there, as Matt starting to drop away from his teammate. He's actually dropped outside of DRS range, so this is a disaster for Matt. He is starting to fall away. He's struggling on these tyres. Surely he's struggling as we head through Cops for the 8th time this race. He's lost it again. Lost it completely. Can he keep it out of the wall? Oh, no, he can't. He does give it a tap, and he's left a bit of front wing behind. And that is front wing damage for the Ferrari, who was once leading the race. And that's a position for everyone behind him. He rejoins the track now, and that is a disaster for Ferrari and for Matt.
It is indeed. Scorpion's going to get a good run here on Jaw as well. So Scorpion's going to move now into P2. We said how important tyre wear would be, and Matt just overheating tyres, and the car was moving around so much on him. But Jaw looking to come back on Scorpion. These two need to try and keep it clean if they can, and break away from Donkel, who's going to be chasing hard now on those medium tyres in 4.
Absolutely. Well, Donkel was pretty much switched on to the alternate strategy, so he'll be running those soft tyres towards the end of the race as Matt does come into the pits. Maybe it was a scheduled stop this lap, who knows? But either way, it's going to be an even longer stop for him with that change of front wing. Samster then leads the way, 3.8 seconds from Scorpion. Jaw is in third place, Donkel fourth, Maid Showman fifth, Lawrence in sixth, Matt Your Daddy in seventh, CK eighth, Lukey in ninth, Chopper in 10th. Matt with that broken front wing is currently in 11th place, Pepsi Gamer 12, and White Fountain in P13.
Yeah, that was a real disaster from Matt. I was on board with him at the time, and the rear of the car just broke away from him and came straight round, no chance of saving it. Yeah, it just shows the rear tyres just went off. He fell off the pace, didn't he? He was quite comfortable for the first sort of 7 laps, and then just fell off. And once the tyres started going, you know, he had no chance there in the end. And now he joins down in 13th, so he's last of the runners at the moment.
Well, can you make it to the end on medium tyres from this point on, Johnny?
Based on how he got on those soft tyres, we'd have to say it's going to be difficult for him. But he's going to give it his best shot. But yeah, it's quite a long way to go if he is suffering from tyre wear issues. Perhaps the setup isn't being as kind on the tyres as he thought it might be.
Lukey here, coming in towards turn 15. He is closing the gap on TK there. We have seen him get past once before. But as we head towards turn 16, it's all about setting yourself up for the first couple of corners, or the last I should say. Donkel closing in on Jaw. He's looking to try and get a podium position. Of course, McLaren only need 2 points from this position to grab second place in the Constructors as we head towards the next round, which is in Germany. And Donkel looking to try and set himself up, try and get past Jaw. He will have the DRS on Jaw. Jaw won't have the DRS on the car ahead as Chopper finds his way past Lukey on those hard tyres. And maybe he's doing a good job on those because he's now up to 9th place. Lukey's not going to let him get away though as we head down the Wellington Straight towards turn 6. He's up the inside. Lukey on the soft tyres. They are wearing. There's a little bit of contact there from Chopper as we head in towards Luffield. And you can see there the Toro Rosso wanting to go up the inside. A little bit of a tap there as Lukey loses that back end from that contact. And Lukey just about stays ahead for now. And that looks like a move for the final podium position. And it is. Donkel gets ahead of Jaw on those medium tyres. And I wonder now, Jono, if those soft tyres are coming to the end of their life.
Yeah, I think they certainly are. We've seen everybody who's on the soft who hasn't pitted already. You know, they're 9 laps now, heated, and they're starting to struggle. And Donkel, you have to say, on those mediums, they're going to come into their own now, and I think we'll see him thunder up to the back of Scorpion. And he could still be able to shout at winning this race yet, despite what happened to him earlier on.
Absolutely. Samster
in the pits.
Yep, Samster in, as is Maid Showman. So, from the Ferrari pit garage, they have put on the medium tyres. And away he goes, I'm guessing. Yes, it is. Maid Showman also in. And medium tyres already in the Williams garage. On they go, and away he goes. As Lukey also in on those soft tyres. So yeah, absolutely. This seems like the pit window is definitely open. With that safety car at the beginning of the race, those drivers were able to keep those soft tyres for just a little bit longer in the race. Able to look after them much easier in that safety car stint. It was only 2 laps, but you could probably get at least another lap out of them. Matt Your Daddy and Lawrence here battling over P4. Lawrence having to do the defending, and he's run a little bit too deep on the exit of turn 6 then. Might just give him a compromised line into Luffield as we head towards Woodcote and then Abbey. But you see there, Matt Your Daddy only 3/10 back as the gap seems to closing. It is closing as we head towards the old turn 1. Lawrence chucking the car in and hoping it sticks. We've already seen Matt FNG lose the back end going through the old turn 1. But no such thing from Lawrence as he is struggling. Lawrence, whether he's got a little bit of damage, I don't know. But he does seem to be struggling in those high-speed sections. Matt then moves up to P12 as he gets past White Fountain.
Yeah, Matt Your Daddy, he looks, you have to say, through high speed, he had to really back off there through Magnussen Beckett's behind the force injury of Lawrence. So perhaps he's suffering slightly more with tyre wear than Matt Your Daddy, or perhaps Matt's just more confident sector of track. But Lawrence, if he carries on getting good exits, he could make life difficult still for Matt here. But I think Matt will be eyeing up a chance if he can. But we've got a few more drivers in the pits by the look of it.
Yep, Jaw and Scorpion in the pits. As we're looking on board with Matt Your Daddy, trying to chase down Lawrence. Where will Samster rejoin? Of course, it's a very, very slow pit lane, and Samster will get ahead of them. So he's got a bit of clear air ahead of him. 10 seconds of clear air. That is crucial there. Scorpion rejoins in 7th place. Jaw will rejoin in 8th place. That looks like a battle between Matt Yadadi and Lawrence here. Going through turn 6 as we head now through Luffield. And then who gets the better exit there? You can see Matt Yadadi just getting that better exit, and away he goes through Woodcote and towards Abbey. Again, chucking that car in and hoping it sticks through this very high-speed section, using that curve on the left-hand side. As you can see, that Lawrence running wide again, and he really can't seem to get that car to stick going through turn 9.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the same front end in the car as Matt Yadadi does at all. So I expect him to perhaps drop away. He drops out of the DRS slipstream. He can well fall back from Matt Yadadi, who will charge onwards. Currently 10 seconds then behind your leader at the moment, which is Donkel.
Yeah, Donkel, who has made a stop in this race, but not a regular stop, as he crosses the line, a 1:30.6, which is only 1/100th of a second away from the best time he set on those 11-lap-old medium tyres at the moment. Then Donkel leads the way from Matt Yadadi. Lawrence in 3rd, TK 4th, Chopper 5th, Samster in 6th. Of course, he did pit from the lead of the race. Scorpion in 7th, May Sherman in 8th, Jaw in 9th, Lukey in 10th. Pepsi Gamer reeling him in. He's in 11th, Matt FNG 12th, and White Fountain in P13.
Yeah, and Sam has just set the fastest lap of the race as well. So that clean air you mentioned, working out very well for him on those fresh medium tyres, utilising them to their fullest with that fastest lap. So all looking very, very good and settled for the Ferrari driver at the moment.
So far so good as we approach the halfway mark in this race, as Lukey here is going to try and defend from Pepsi Gamer. Pepsi Gamer on those hard tyres. He's been on the 8 laps and he is starting to close in on Lukey. Now I've been given the hard tyres a bit of a bad rep because Chopper has taken them up to P5 right now.
Yeah, Chopper sort of magicked his way through to P5 as people ahead of him have pitted. But those 11-lap old hard tyres, he's going to be rapidly closed in, I think, by a fair few of the cars behind him. And we'll keep an eye on Pepsi Gamer as well on his 8-lap old hards. But I expect once he gets those mediums up to temperature, he should be able to fend off Pepsi Gamer for the time being at least.
Well, halfway through this Grand Prix, 13 laps to go, with Donkel your leader. But of course, he does have to stop again on those to put on a fresh set of soft tyres, you would think. But actually, when it comes to Donkel, he has a choice of just putting on another set of medium tyres. He's used both sets of dry tyres that he needs to. Is there an option of just putting on another set of mediums and going to the end? Yeah,
he may well do that. I'm just looking at the gap from him to Sam at the moment, because that's perhaps who he's going to be racing at the end of the race. So perhaps he will decide to split the stint in half and put another set of mediums on and go again. That's definitely available to him, and try and give himself as little work to do to close down Sam at the end as he can get away with.
And of course we have seen alternate strategies in the past, John, and not work out because the tyres, or at least the softest possible tyres, don't last. Maybe if Donkel puts on a set of mediums, he won't be as susceptible to that.
Yeah, perhaps so. We will see on lap 14, so it's got both options open to him at the moment. But as you say, we've seen the soft there, 9 laps it fell off, didn't it? That was the qualifying as well.
That's made Showman off at Luffield there. Not entirely sure what happened, but he's off the track. He's rejoined now, but he's lost the position to Jaw. So no idea what happened there. Just cut onto him doing a bit of off-roading, but this time he rejoins the circuit.
Yeah, he decides to do rallying no longer. He's back on the circuit in P9 at the moment as well, made Showman. So in the points at the moment, but a few mistakes creeping in. So he needs to try and get on top of those if he can, if he wants to maintain his points position to the end.
Pepsi Gamer right on Lukey's gearbox here as we head down the hanger straight. He's got the DRS, Pepsi Gamer. Remember, he's on those hard tyres, and Lukey's on fresher medium tyres. As Pepsi Gamer tries to go around the outside, the door was slammed shut there, and he couldn't quite make it through. Lukey then defending as we head now down towards turn 16 and into the club section. Pepsi Gamer has his eyes set on that last point there, and around the final corner, a little bit of a loss of back end there as he heads across the line. Of course, DRS down this start-finish straight, which cuts out just before turn 1. And as we head now down towards turn 3, A little bit of DRS there, which is, well, to me, it's just as useless as the Monaco DRS zone, but it's there, so we might as well use it. And Pepsi Gamer coming around turn 5 into the second DRS zone of the track, and a much longer straight, the Wellington straight here. Not as long as the Hangar straight, of course, but you can see there Lukey getting away, actually, even with the DRS, so maybe Lukey's got a car that's set up for the straights rather than the corners.
Yeah, maybe so. But you have to say it's impressive for Pepsi Gamer. He's on older, slower tyres, yet he's managing to attack Lukey. So it's a shame for him that he got tangled up early on and was sort of forced onto this different strategy as he runs very wide there. But obviously he's quick and confident, despite being at a disadvantage from the tyre point of view.
Absolutely, just watching that battle between TK and Chopper. Donkel is into the pits and he's put on a set of soft tyres. So soft tyres for Donkel for the end of the race then, as Chopper then gets around turn 2 then, and TK just about defends from the Toro Rosso. Remember, he's on the hard tyres and he pitted very, very early. I'm wondering if he can actually make it to the end on those tyres, and I'm really doubting that he actually can. It's going to be a big ask.
Yeah, it is going to be a big ask. Donkel then, he's rejoined the circuit, but he's got a lot of work to do. He's just on the same section of track there, both just on the Wellington straight there for a moment, but he's going to have his work cut out to close Sam and have the tyres left to fight with, I think, at the end if he catches him.
Well, Matt, your daddy then inherits the lead of the race, and Lawrence is right behind him. A couple of battles going on. We've got Matt, your daddy, and Lawrence, the one we're watching right now, which is TK and Chopper, the battle for 3rd place, and then the battle for 10th place, which is Lukey and Pepsi Gamer. As 2 of those battles are with the car behind being on hard tyres.
Yeah, I think Sam will rapidly close up as well. Well, look, it's 2.4 seconds to Chopper at the moment. I think we'll see that come down absolutely rapidly, especially if Chopper ends up battling hard with TK.
Oh, Lukey's lost it.
14 laps then on those mediums.
Lukey's lost it. He went onto the grass and he's lost that position to Pepsi Gamer. Managed to keep it going forward and lose the position and just take out a bit of advertising board. That was the only casualty there. Didn't damage his front wing, but just losing that position might set up a move for Matt FNG here to try and grab some late points in this race. As Matt, your daddy, and TK come into the pits, that's going to promote Samster up to P3 then, and Donkel up to P4. 5.7 seconds, the gap is coming down, and we've got 10 laps here, so half a second per lap to catch. That's pretty doable.
Yeah, it's easily doable, at least for the next couple of laps, and the softs are still fresh. It will, the time will tell when those softs lose their edge. Can he still be quick enough then to close Sam down? But at the moment, yeah, it's rapidly coming down, 5.3 now. And Sam's teammate Matt, as you mentioned, he can see a points playing position. It's in his sights, and he's all over the back of Lukey, so I think he could recover something from this race here.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's a point better than Mercedes are doing right now this race. Of course, they're not going to score any points, so any points at all would help Ferrari in their battle against what looks like by the end of this race to be McLaren.
Yeah, McLaren are going to put themselves in that chasing position, aren't they? As the leader at the moment, then Lawrence enters the pit.
Yes, absolutely. And Lukey there was just defending P10 there against Matt, and Matt just being patient as we head through Maggots and Beckett's. Now we come towards Chapel and the DRS zone down the Hangar straight, as Matt will have the slipstream and the DRS as Donkel sets the fast lap of the race. Lukey goes defensive as we head towards turn 15, and I wonder if this is going to be just a little bit too much for Lukey, and it is. Matt finds his way around the outside and moves up towards P10 to take the final point position away for now.
Yeah, and that gap down to 3.8 now. Donkel absolutely flying. At this rate, he will be on the back of Sam in a couple of laps' time. Sam himself then closing up to Chopper on those 16-lap-old halves now. So Sam will perhaps be looking forward and looking in his mirrors over the next couple of laps.
Pepsi Gamer and Lawrence battling in towards turn 5. Lawrence having to take to the green stuff as we head down the Wellington straight. Pepsi Gamer did give him the room, but Lawrence just ran a little bit wide. Here we go now, heading through turn 6 Pepsi Gamer moves up a position for now as Lawrence tries to go round the outside of Luffield. Now trying to get the better exit. He has got the much better traction now as we head through Woodcote and towards Abbey. For the 18th time then, as you can see, Pepsi Gamer looks to try and go defensive. They're going to try and go too wide through Cops here, and they just about make it. Somehow they just about make it as we head towards Maggots and Beckett's, and you can see there Lawrence backing out. Really only one car at a time going through Maggots and Beckett's there. You'd be crazy to go too wide.
Yeah, you would be absolutely crazy to go for that there, and I think Lawrence needs to be patient. He's going to have such a speed advantage, you'd think, at least on those brand new soft. Pepsi Gamer entitled to defend, but I think it might be futile, and it is. It looks like Lawrence made his way through. I think a little bit of contact, though, perhaps, pushing Pepsi wide there.
Yeah, I think a little bit of front wing debris came off, and that is allowing Matt F&G to take the position. He says, thank you very much, I'll take that away from you. And that is Ferrari scoring a lot more points than McLaren today, as Pepsi Gamer will not be happy as we head towards turn 1. And how much grip has he lost? Doesn't look like he's lost too much aero. You can see he's steering that steering wheel a little bit more, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't look that bad. He might be able to nurse that car home. We've got Matt Your Daddy battling away with Made Showman as Matt Your Daddy gets into the slipstream of the Williams, trying to go around the outside here as we head towards turn 5. As Made Showman tried to squeeze Matt Your Daddy out, he takes a compromised line going into Luffield, and Matt Your Daddy again has to be patient. Wait for the power to come to him, wait for the grip to come to him. It will favour him as we head through Woodcote and now coming towards Abbey. The old turn 1. He'll have a lot more grip than that Made Showman, and as you can see, Made Showman just clipping the grass there. That's going to scrub a little bit of speed off, but not so much as Matt Your Daddy wanted as we head through Maggots now. Then we're going to head through Beckett's and Chapel. Of course, we're going to go down the hanger straight. You can see how much Matt Your Daddy has closed in on the Williams. He's got the DRS, the much better traction, the much better grip. Here we go then down the hanger straight. They are side by side as we head towards turn 15. Has Matt Your Daddy got the move done? The Williams tries to go up the inside to try and keep a tyre in, but no, it's futile. And Matt Your Daddy takes the position away, and the Williams tucks back in into turn 16. Good battling between the two of them, and Matt Your Daddy secures P6.
Yeah, good battling. Matt Your Daddy patient and being a little bit cautious until time came, and then made the most of it, and yeah, makes his way into P6. So the Renault driver is moving forward, and moving forward ourselves to the front of the field. Then Sam is within 7/10 now of Chopper.
Absolutely, and I'm wondering for Donkel, because we saw the other drivers taking their soft tyres 10 laps. We saw Matt Your Daddy, Matt F&G, not even taking them 8 laps before they decided to fall off the cliff for him. Will he actually be able to keep those tyres in check towards the end of the race?
Yeah, he's going to be on the limit. I think he pitted on the first lap he possibly could. So he's going to take them as far as he can, but I think he will struggle on the last couple of laps. As you say, the others took them sort of 9-10 laps, but that was with the safety car break as well, although he did have obviously a qualifying lap to do on those as well. So he will be on the limit. I think that gap down to 1.4, but you can see it's slowing the rate at which it's closing every lap.
Samster losing that back end very slightly there, kept it in check, but that has bought Donkel a load of time there, 4/10 to be exact. He is now just over a second behind, and Samster really needs to get past Chopper because his dirty air is not helping. Chopper's done 19 laps on those hard tyres and looking to try and go to the end of the race. It'll be a fantastic achievement if he can, but Samster will be looking to try and spoil the Toro Rosso's day as we head through turn 4, coming now towards turn 5, and you can see their Chopper taking a wider line, hoping to add a little bit of speed here, but it might all be futile because here comes Samster with the DRS and the slipstream, moves to the inside as we head towards turn 5, and I don't think Chopper battled too hard for it. He actually came back at him, trying to do the cutback there, but Samster retakes the lead of the British Grand Prix.
And that was crucial because Donkel was in touch and distance if Sam had another failed attempt there. So that has given him a bit of breathing space now. But Chopper, you have to say, up to now at least, he's driven a really good race and has held off these guys well on those aging hard tyres. So it's been a really, really good stint from him by now so far. Well, I say a stint, it's been almost entire race distance by the opening couple of laps.
Absolutely. Here comes Donkel now. He has to make this move. This is crucial for him now. Just over a second is the gap between him and Samster. Donkel try and move up the inside of turn 15. He won't, but Chopper almost caught him out there with the line he took. And you can see there, Chopper running wide as we head now down the hill towards turn 16 and then through the club section. You can see Samsa is still within touching distance, so all is not lost for Donkel as we head around the final corner. 5 laps to go. It's getting near to now or never for Donkel as he closes in on Chopper. Still got a couple more opportunities, but the longer that the Toro Rosso of Chopper keeps him behind, the more difficult it's going to be for Donkel to actually make a move for the lead towards the end of the race.
Yeah, if Donkel doesn't get it done in the next half a lap, or certainly this lap, then he won't be able to win this race. This is absolutely crucial for him now to get this move done. He might have to take a chance or two here, because otherwise Sam is going to be able to hold him off, I think, as those soft tyres will be well past their best shortly.
We've got yellow flags in sector 1, and that's why Lawrence is around. Yeah, Lawrence is around in turn 2. So he's going to be dropping down the field at an alarming rate. Here comes Donkel then towards Abbey. Through turn 9 they go, and Chopper has gone wide. And Lawrence is out. Chopper went wide there. Donkel and Chopper, battling for position through Maggots and Beckett. Donkel takes P2. That was a crucial move as well. Just talk to us what happened about Lawrence.
Yeah, I think Lawrence just got frustrated there. He just he drove it into the wall and took the front end off his car, so he is out of the race. So Donkel, as you said, he's made his way through.
Oh, that's Matt Your Daddy, straight into the wall!
Yeah.
Made Showman was involved in that one. I don't know whether there was contact, but Matt Your Daddy in the Renault is out.
Oh, what a shame for Matty Daddy. Can he not have any luck? He was taken out by Farth at Austria, and which Farth got a penalty for. And once again, we get towards the end of the race, and Matty Daddy finds himself out. I didn't catch it either, see if Matty Sherman was involved or not, but either way, for Matty Daddy, that is another DNF.
Well, Samster still leads the way then from Donkel, 7/10 of a second with 4 laps to go. And Samster here, who is going to blink first in terms of tyre wear. Of course, Donkel's tyres will be aging. They're coming towards the end of their life here. Sort of about 10, 11 laps would be the cut-off point, and that's exactly how far Donkel's taking them. Watch out for Chopper as well. Those tyres might have to give up sooner or later. He is falling back to 2 seconds, but to keep it 2 seconds after a couple of laps is still pretty good from Chopper then, keeping those tyres in check. But Samsa here is closing in on Donkel at a rate of knots then. Here we go then through Maggots now. Coming through turn 12 and then through Beckett. You can see there Donkel trying to get the better exit, and it looks like he's got it. Through Chapel now. Down this long DRS straight of the Hangar Straight. Here comes Donkel round the outside with the DRS. It looks like he's got the move done, and he has done. Donkel takes the lead at the British Grand Prix, but Samster tried to get up the inside, couldn't quite make it. They both run wide on the exit there as we head towards turn 16 here through 17. Samster's not done with this yet, and it's all about Donkel trying to look after these tyres towards the end of the race then. 3 laps to go here at the British Grand Prix. Can Donkel hold on for what would be a crucial win in this championship battle?
Yeah, I think Sam has got to definitely hold on.
Donkel's...
I say that though, Donkel makes a mistake. Yeah, he's run wide, and he has thrown that position away just as soon as he gained it. And I was just going to say, it looked like he had a pretty big grip advantage, but he made the error and has fallen back, and he's got dirty tyres now as well. He's got to be careful now, tyre temperatures, and clean up those tyres. And will that now be too big an ask for him? He's 1.2 seconds back then.
This might have just been handed on a silver platter to Samster. With 3 laps to go though, it's not over yet. 1.2 is the gap. Still falling, so Donkel has got another chance, but he might have just shot himself in the foot there with that mistake coming through turn 1. It just looked like it got away from him as he went to turn in for turn 2 and went completely wide, gave up the position. But once again, he's coming towards the Hangar Straight. Once again, he will have that DRS. He is 6/10 back. The detection point is before Maggots when you just turn in, so he was in the DRS zone. Here he goes then. Take 2 for Donkel. He made that mistake. He's got another chance, another bite of the cherry. As we head now down towards turn 15, he's going to look for the inside line. This isn't going to be as easy this time. He makes contact with Samster. Has to back out of that one. Runs a little bit wide once again. And Donkel here is getting frustrated. He wants this position. He knows he's quicker, but he's got to do it in a way that's not going to take the both of them off.
Yeah, he's got the speed, doesn't he? He needs a little bit of patience. I know he's desperate to get the move done, but he's got the pace in the car. If one more error like that, and his chances will be over. He just needs to wait for that chance. He's still got a couple of laps to do it, but you can see he's also struggling with oversteer now. Those soft tyres are beginning to go off again, and the Bria is wanting to come round on him on those high-speed entries, as we saw obviously earlier with Matt. It can absolutely be race-ended potentially. So he's got to balance that along with attacking Sam. He's got a good run here. Sam defends to the left-hand side, and Donkor then has to follow him behind once more.
Absolutely. Here we go then through Luffield. Donkor and Samsa looking both to prioritise the exit here of Luffield as we head through Woodcote and towards Abbey once again. And Donkor here is closing and closing. He's only 2 tenths back as they both turn in for the old turn 1. And both just about holding it. Look at Donkor right in the gearbox, but he backs out of it, knows he can't quite make the move stick. There's the DRS point there. You just saw that white line on the right-hander going into turn 10. That's where the DRS detection point is. But you can see there, Donkor's dropped a little bit back here. Half a second now, lost 3 tenths through that high-speed section. Here he goes again. Penultimate chance through this corner. He's going to go for it again. Dives bomb down the inside of turn 15, and he still can't make it work. Samster's only got to defend from a move like that for one more time.
Yeah, one more time. There will be so much tension in the cockpit here for both these drivers. Donkor, he's almost too close going into Magnus and Beckett's, and it's compromising his exit. He's got to get, focus on that exit, because that move into turn 15 may well be his best chance, but he's going to look, I think, any way he possibly can on this race. If you make the move too soon and it doesn't work out, that will be his chance gone.
Absolutely, coming through the arena section towards turn 5. He's lost that back end, Donkor. Lights up those rear tyres, and that's not going to help his tyre wear overall. You can see then Samster just holding on 5 tenths of a second. That's all it is as we head towards turn 6. And this complex section now towards Luffield. Once again, both of them running wide in the middle of the corner to try and prioritise the exit. Here we go then towards turn 8 of Woodcote. And then towards turn 9 of Cops, as Ollie's corrected me in the chat, the old turn 1. They fire the cars in one last time. It's one last move for Donkor. Is he going to try and go side by side through Max and Beckett's? No, he doesn't. He picks up a little bit of dirt on the right-hand side of his tyres, following the Ferrari all the way through. But again, he's been caught out by the dirty air. He's a lot closer than he was last time, though. Here we go then into the DRS. And into the slipstream. Donkor, this is his last chance then. Flicks to the outside, to the left-hand side as we head down towards turn 15. He's going to go round the outside. Can they keep it clean? He's gone round the outside. Over the track he goes, onto that green stuff, towards now turn 16. Can he keep the move stuck there? He gets ahead, locks up though. Going through turn 17, and Donkor is just about going to hold on. I don't believe it. The McLaren wins here at the British Grand Prix. Fantastic move from Donkor in the end, and well, a win that he had to work really hard for. Chopper there, 25 laps on those hard tyres. He will grab that last podium spot with a bit of relish there. Scorpion finishing in 4th place there. Jaw in 5th. Made Showman is going to come across the line in 6th place. Matt FNG with a tough race for him. Lost the car early on in his soft stint, and he'll come across the line for P7. But they are extending their gap at the top then. Lukey in 8th place. Pepsi Gamer finishing in 9th. White Fountain will finish in 11th, with TK picking up the last points paying position. But in a dramatic turn of events, your winner of the British Grand Prix, it's Donkor.
Wow, what a finish to that race, and Donkor will be absolutely delighted to have pulled that off, and Sam will be probably gutted to lose it right there at the end. But Donkor, he made it perhaps slightly difficult for himself there at times, but he got the job done in the end. And the McLaren driver then recovered from that turn 2 contact on the first lap to beat his rival and take the win. Sam P2 maintains his championship lead, but Donkor is on the championship hunt, I think.
Absolutely. Well, what they've done here, McLaren, is stopped Ferrari taking all the top points they possibly can. And there is your official, unofficial results. Donkor takes the win at the British Grand Prix. Samster in 2nd. Chopper 25 laps on those hard tyres. Amazing stint from him. Scorpion in 4th. Great result for Toro Rosso today. Jaw in 5th. Made Showman 6th. Matt FNG 7th. Lukey in 8th. Pepsi Gamer in 9th. TK in 10th, with White Fountain the last of the finishes just outside the points in P11. We lost in that race. Matt Your Daddy, Lawrence, Cloudy Balloons and Farth all the way on lap number 1.
And I think you mentioned Chopper there. He's got to be in the nominations for Driver of the Day. As impressive as the front two were, to do all those laps on those hard tyres and bring it home for a podium from ninth on the grid, I think it was. It was absolutely great drive from Chopper.
Absolutely, and Jamie in the chat there saying, two stop at Silverstone, are you sure? Yes, we had a safety car very early on in the race, and Donkall, we suspected, had a little bit of damage, went onto the medium tyres for his second stint, if you like. But Jono, what a race that was.
Absolutely incredible. That last lap was fantastic, perhaps the best last lap we've had all season long. Brilliant racing from those two, and the championship battle will continue. Massive step forward for Ferrari though in the constructors, and even Matt there managed to recover in the end. But Donkall just showing that you never give up in F1. The safety car obviously helped him out with that damage he picked up at the beginning, but I'm pretty sure once that happened and he found himself towards the back of the field, he never thought a win was on the cards, but he managed to pull it off.
Well, it does stop the Ferrari dominance that I was calling out before the race, though, but they do extend their lead at the top against Mercedes. McLaren move into second place in the constructors' standings, and Samster against Reflow there, obviously 18 points. That takes his championship lead up to 49 points now after the British Grand Prix. Almost 2 wins away, and it's looking a little bit bleak for Reflow as he heads towards the German Grand Prix, which you can catch at 8 p.m. GMT next week.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to do it all again next week. Can't wait. Hopefully we'll have Reflow back to take the fight. And it's just impossible to call these races at the moment. And I'm sure it'll be the same again next week. All these drivers so competitive, but no one able to really take the metal and win a load on the bounce. So can Donkall change that? Will he get another victory next week? We'll have to tune in and find out.
Absolutely. The German Grand Prix, classic track, that's for sure. Make sure, though, you go and tune into the Prestige tier now. They're coming towards the end of their qualifying session, and I wonder who's going to take the win here. We had a dramatic race here. I wonder if there's going to be a safety car at the start of their race, Jono.
Yeah, you wouldn't bet against it, would you? Anything can happen, as we know in any race in One Hub Racing, but particularly Silverstone always delivers, and it certainly did for us this evening.
Absolutely. If you're new around here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell as well to get notified every time we go live, because of course 3 different tiers run across the night here on Fridays. You can also follow the league on Twitter at OneHub Racing. You can also follow me on Twitter if you really want to, KSMCGF1. You can also follow Jono there as well. His is much more simpler than mine. It's just Jono F1. But we have to wait until next week to have the next chapter in this very exciting title battle.
Yeah, and what more can you say? Bring it on.
Bring it on. And on that note, please make sure you go and check out the Prestige stream. Until next week, though, I've been Kieran McGinley.
And I've been John Worth.
Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time.